Om Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. With the blessings of Bhagavan Sri Krishna and all acharyas, let us churn the butter, which is the essence of Bhagavadgita, through churning, Geetarjanam, churning the buttermilk, which is the focused mind. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. Om Namo Devi Tamratame. Om Bhagavate Vasudeva. Om Namo Devi Tamratame. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Devi Tamratame. Shada, can I request you to repeat after me?
Yes.
It is in rhythm. Dehinosmin yatha dehe
Dehinosmin yatha dehe
kaumaram yauvanam jara
kaumaram yauvanam jara
तथा देहांतर प्राप्ति धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति
तथा देहांतर प्राप्तिः धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति
मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखदाः
मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखदाः
आगमापायिनो नित्य तांसितीक्षस्व भारत
आगमापायिनो नित्य कान्ति तीक्षस्व भारत
यं हि न व्यथयन्त्येते पुरुषं पुरुषार्षभ
यं हि न व्यथयन्ते ते पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभा
समदुःख सुखं धीरं सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते
समदुःख सुखं धीरं सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
नासतो विद्यते भावो
नासतो विद्यते भावो
न भावो विद्यते सतः
न भावो विद्यते सतः
उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः
उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः
त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः
त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः
अविनाशि तु तद्विद्धि
अविनाशि तु तद्विद्धि
येन सर्वम् इदं ततम्
येन सर्वम् इदं ततम्
विनाशम् अव्ययस्यास्य
विनाशम् अव्ययस्यास्य
न कश्चित् दुर्कर्तुमर्हति
न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति
अन्तवन्त इमे देह
अन्तवन्त इमे देहा
नित्यस्योक्ताः शरीरिणः
नित्यस्योक्ताः शरीरिणः
अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य
अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
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 य एनं वेत्ति हन्तारम् यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभौ तौ न विजानीतो नायं हन्ति न हन्यते न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित्
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित्
नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः
नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः
अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयम्
अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयम्
पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे
पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे
वेदा अविनाशिनं नित्यं य एनम् अजम् अव्ययम् कथं स पुरुषः पार्थ कं घातयति हन्ति कम् वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि
नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि
नैनं दहति पावकः
नैनं दहति पावकः
न चैतं क्लेदयन्त्यापो
न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापो
न शोषितयति मारुतः न
न शोषयति मारुतः
अच्छेद्योऽयम् अदाह्योऽयम्
अच्छेद्योऽयम् अदाह्योऽयम्
अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एव च
अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एव च
नित्यः सर्वगतः स्थाणुः
नित्यः सर्वगतः स्थाणुः
अजलोऽयं सनातनः
अचलोऽयम् सनातनः
अव्यक्तोऽयम् अचिन्त्योऽयम्
अव्यक्तोऽयम् अचिन्त्योऽयम्
अविकार्योऽयम् उच्यते
अविकार्योऽयम् उच्यते
तस्मादेवं विदित्वैनम्
तस्मादेवं विदित्वैनं
नानुशोचितुम् अर्हसि
नानुशोचितुम् अर्हसि
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
अथ चैनं नित्यजातम्
अथ चैनं नित्यजातम्
नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतम्
नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतम्
तथापि त्वं महाबाहो
तथापि त्वं महाबाहो
नैनं शोचितुम् अर्हसि
नैवं शोचितुमर्हसि
जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्युः
जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्युः
ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च
ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च
तस्मादपरिहार्येऽर्थे
तस्मादपरिहार्येऽर्थे
न त्वं शोचितुम् अर्हसि
न त्वं शोचितुम् अर्हसि
अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि
अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि
व्यक्तमद्यानि भारत
व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत
अव्यक्तनिधनान्येव
अव्यक्तानि धनान्येव
तत्र का परिदेवना
तत्र का परिदेवना
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
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 आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम् आश्चर्यवत् वदति तथैव चान्यः आश्चर्यवच्चैनम् अन्यः शृणोति श्रुत्वाप्येनम् वेद न चैव कश्चित् देहि नित्यम् अवध्योऽयम् देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुम् अर्हसि न त्वं शोचितुम् अर्हसि तस्मात् उत्तिष्ठ युध्यस्व अहो भारत. So this is how he cajoles, tells Arjuna what the eternal reality is. So in the last class we went through Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara prapti dhiras tatra namuhyati. Just like we throw away the old clothes and wear the new clothes, even the soul, Atma, wears different bodies as clothes. A very great Sufi saint, Rumi, he asks the question, I died out of the stone and became a plant. I died out of plant and became an animal. I died out of animal and became a human being. When did I grow less by dying? Why then should I fear to die? I shall die out of man and shall become an angel. So that is how the evolution takes place. They are all different garments which we are wearing as stone, plant, animal, human being, angel, devatas. A time comes when we throw out all the bodies and become that expansive Atma. In the next one, he's making it more clear. Matra sparshastu kaunteya शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखदा आगमा पायिनो अनित्याः तां स्थितिक्षस्व भारत. O Bharata, Arjuna, matra sparshastu, just by the contact with the sense organs, with the objects, the sense objects and the sense organs, when they come in contact with one another, sparsha matre, just by that contact, Shita, Ushna, that is cold and hot. Sukha, Dukkha, happiness and sorrow we experience. Just that connection gives the experience of the dualities like cold and hot, happiness and sorrow. And they keep coming and going. They are fleeting. Agama paino. And they are anitya. They are fleeting. They are changing every moment. They are not permanent. And thus, titikshasva, you tolerate it. You have the energy, power to tolerate it, those dualities, because they are all fleeting, temporary experiences which arise because of the contact between the sense organs with the sense objects. Agama payino anitya. See, for such a fleeting thing, how much importance we give in our life, isn't it? When we look at children, they are demonstrative idols for us. At one moment, they are crying. From the bottom of their heart, they are crying. At the very next minute, they stop crying and they're happy. They won't carry on the baggage. They live in the present. If they are sorrow, they really feel it. But they are not stuck to it. The minute they are given something which they wanted, they really show the happiness the very next moment. So that crying and feeling happy are so fleeting, temporary. And human body have the five senses. Whatever we are feeling, the emotions and the duality in this world of multiplicity is because of that connection between the five senses with the objects. That is, when the eyes see something, as long as I am in touch with that object, it is there. The minute I turn away, I am no more in connection with that object. And thus, the mind is not connected with it. It has to go away to the next object. And even the shabda, which falls on the ears. Same thing with that also. The touch on the skin, the smell, and the taste on the tongue, that we have thoroughly experienced and we are expert in saying. The tongue is only this long. To satisfy that, how much we struggle. It is only this much. The minute food passes through and leaves the tongue, no more we are having the taste at all. You won't feel the taste. The food is gone. So it is that temporary, even sukha, dukkha, because we are carrying the memory of that experience of the contact, we are still having that lingering experience, which is not actual experience, but the lingering memory of the experience. And slowly it starts becoming the baggage, creating different emotions, which we go through unnecessarily. So what he's telling here is titikshasva. If you give your mind to those experiences, the mind will go here to there to here to there, cold to warm, cold to warm. Sukha to dukkha to sukha to dukkha. You will be like pendulum. Even then, you will not be able to understand because you are becoming one with the experience. Because you are giving the reins of your mind to the experience and the memory of that experience. Titikshasva. Bear with it. Just observe it and just go through it. This is what we learn in Vipassana. The technique of Vipassana is this. Observe all the sensations, perception of the sensation throughout the body. Just observe it. Don't become one with it, or don't react to the experiences which we are going through. For example, when we are breathing, if we concentrate on the breathing, how the air goes in and out, some people feel heaviness here. Some people feel very lightness. Some people feel itchy. We should just observe it. Just because it is itching, if we try to scratch, we are becoming one with the experience. That means I'm surrendering to the experience. But in Vipassana, we had to hold back the hand and go through the experience. And it will go away automatically within a minute. That experience will go away. It is a practical experience. Vipassana, that is what they follow. Titiksha. Just bear with it. Tolerate it. Why? What's the big deal about it? Yam hi na vyathayantyete purusham purusharshabha samadhukka sukham dhiram somritattvaya kalpate. Only a person, Purusha, yam hina vyathayantyete, one who is not distressed or disturbed verily by these experiences, the duality. Samadhukka sukham, taking both sukha and dukkha with equipoised, stable mind and go through the experience. Only that person who is dhira, steady in his mind. Amritatvaya kalpate. He is the one who is eligible for that freedom, amrita, for liberation. So what do we take by this? In the previous shloka, Krishna is telling it is temporary experiences, the duality. Now he's telling, come above the duality. Not just bear with it, but come above. Be in that witness mode. Develop that equipoised mind. So, to rise above the duality, first we have to ask ourselves the questions. Why do we aspire for happiness? Why are we running behind happiness? Because that is the truth. Parama Atma, Brahman, is nothing but Sadananda, Akhandananda, Brahmananda. He is nothing but the bliss, Atma. And we are all, each one of us, are fragment of that Parabrahman. So we are carrying that bliss in us, that Ananda in us. Because of the notion, deluded notion that I am the body, I am the mind, I'm forgetting and I'm not in touch with the Atma knowingly. So I feel I'm incomplete. I need something else from the outer world to make me happy. So we are always in search of happiness, because happiness, the bliss, is my base. I want it always. Because it is covered, we are trying to scratch it out and experience that bliss. So we are running away from the sadness. In that, we are going through the duality. And the next question would be, why the objects of the senses are not giving us the happiness? Isn't it? Once we have something in our possession, we feel happy, but it is temporary. And we lose it. So, the objects of the world which give us happiness is temporary. But our original, natural self is Akhanda Ananda. It is eternal bliss. So, being that the self is looking for that eternal bliss, certainly the object of the world cannot give us that bliss. And also, we want infinite bliss. Because Brahmananda is that. It is ever intense and expansive. That infinity we are not getting through the objects of the world. So again, I am hit. And then it is not permanent. Whereas the Brahmananda is eternal. It is there all the time. When I am that eternal bliss, why will I settle for something impermanent, happiness in the world? So I'm put more into the delusion. Once we realize that the self is Sat Chit Ananda, slowly we dissociate with the body and the mind and be in that bliss. But it is not so in our experience as Jivatmas. So, tolerance, practicing the tolerance of having the experiences with both the sides is important. That is what he's trying to tell. Nasato vidyate bhavo. Na bhavo vidyate satah. Nasato vidyate bhavo. Unreal does not exist. That which is unreal does not exist at all. Take it. Nasato vidyate bhavo. The unreal does not exist. Na bhavo vidyate satah. That which is truth, real, will never cease to exist. It is always there. It will never cease to exist. So here Krishna is making it, declaring the truth, like breaking the rod. A stick cannot be bent. It can be only broken. Like that, he's telling about the reality, truth, which exists eternally and it will never cease. In the same way, unreal, untruth can never exist. It is just white and black, no gray part at all. It is that clear. Ubhayorapi drishtontah anayohu tattvadarshibhihi. The realized souls, tattvadarshibhihi, those who have seen, who have experienced, who have the knowledge of that Atma and the body, they know what both are. So, what can we understand by this? Real, what is real? As he says, it denotes that it is ever present. It is eternally present. It will never cease to be. It is always there. It defies, disregards all changes. It remains constantly. What is unreal? That denotes which is not existing at all. If we apply this to the world which we are living in, no doubt we are seeing the experiences so strong, sturdy, so realistic. But it is Jagat. Every moment it is changing. Every nanosecond it is changing. Jagat. The whole manifestation is constantly moving and changing. So, the world which is a nanosecond back has to die to give rise to the new world, and that will also die in nanosecond and gives rise to the new world. To such an extent, it is changing and it is not there at all. One can say, for so many centuries, there is this world. How can we say it is unreal? Here he is saying, Nasato vidyate bhavo. That means the world is changing constantly, not being there eternally, like its substratum, which is Atma. Because Atma, I am, is constantly there to observe, to record that the whole world is changing. That substratum is real, Sataha. Whereas the world which we are seeing is constantly changing every moment. So I cannot say this world is real. Nor I can say it is not, it is real, nor unreal. It is illusory and it cannot be describable. It is not describable. So, how can we understand this? The world in the dream the world in the dream which we see at night while sleeping. During that dream, the world was very, very real. But the minute one wakes up, we realize that the whole world which we saw in the dream is unreal. But I experienced it as very, very real. So the question rises, was there the world really? No. It was created and it was totally dismantled when I woke up. It is the same thing when we are in the Jagrat awakened state. We realize this experientially only when I get enlightened to experience that I am just the Atma witnessing the Jagat which is changing every second, every moment. And Tattvadarshi, they are always in touch with reality, and they are also using the body and the mind as only the instruments. They are not becoming the body, becoming the mind, but they are keeping that distance between the self and the body and the mind. Tattvadarshi, because they have seen it, they have experienced it. That's why they are called Tattvadarshi. Before we go further, we have to think how body and the mind, sukha, dukkha, daylight, night, different seasons, all appear and they just keep going away from us. It is important to contemplate on the point what he is telling. Nasato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate satah. So there is no point in me hanging on to the experiences which we are getting through these five senses, body and the mind. It is only this pinch when compared to the eternal reality, what I am. The Tattvadarshi, they all experience the whole manifestation is just a pebble or just a sesame seed. That is what they feel. The whole manifestation is just a small pebble or even a sesame seed. If it is that small, how expansive, how blissful those Tattvadarshi is. How are they able to do it? Because they have understood in depth, intensely, with clarity and experience that Atma is the one which is the substratum in which the body and the mind are there as just the instruments. So Krishna is telling all of us Arjunas to understand that and work in that path. Avinashitu tadvidhi yena sarvam idam tad. That Atma has pervaded, it has enveloped the whole Sarvamidam, everything. And what is it? Avinashi, it is indestructible. That you know, Tad Vidhi. By whom? By that Atma, everything is covered, everything is enveloped. Atma has covered each and every inch, every atom of the whole manifested world. Vinasham avyayasya asya na kaschit kartumarhati. Vinasham, no, destroying it is not possible because it is immutable. Kaschit kartum arhati. No one can do anything to that Atma. So we can well imagine being stuck in this small body, in that small sesame seed like manifestation. What are we? Where are we as individuals? Nothing. Nothing. So no one can destroy. Vinasham avyayasya. He can never be destroyed. He is immutable. No doubt that Atma is there. In that, we are seeing so many shapes, colors, sizes, different species, living and non-living beings. There are so many multiplicities, but all are nothing but appearance. It just comes and goes, comes and goes. It appears and disappears in no time. For that, in Vedanta, they give the analogy of mud. Mud is one and the same in different pots and the plates, vases. But when all are broken, where will they end up as? Just the mud. Like that, Atma is there, in which all these things just appear. Even the body and the mind just appear. Antavanta ime deha nityasyoktaha sharirinaha anashino prameyasya tasmat yuddhasva bharata. Antavanta ime deha. This body is bound to end, bound to see its own end. They have an end, these bodies. Antavanta ime deha. Nityasyoktaha sharirinaha. At the same time, it is said, it is known, ukta, that sharirina, the soul, the owner of the body, the soul is nitya, it is eternal. The outer body, and which is also the mind, because there are three bodies, isn't it? Physical body, mental body, causal body. All the three bodies have to see the end. Antavanta ime deha nityasyoktaha sharirinaha. So, see how Prakriti has, or that Brahman has put together two opposites. Such permanent, eternal Atma is kept in the body, three bodies, which are not eternal at all. They all just get destroyed. But they are carrying on the whole manifestation. Because the whole manifestation is also a body, huge body. In that there are so many bodies, so many minds. Anashino, if he is that soul, which is Nitya, eternal, is indestructible. Anashino. Aprameya, and he is immeasurable. Wow. The body is, the individual body is so small. Within that is the Atma, who is aprameya, immeasurable. That means what? One should feel like running and get into that determined meditation to be able to become one with that Atma and feel that expansiveness, ever expansiveness, immeasurable expansiveness. And that is what each one of us is. How much we are losing. Anashino aprameyasya. And because of that, yudhyasva. Get up and fight. It is a wake-up call for all of us. What is he saying? Antavanta ime deha. Let us see. Antavanta. Why is he telling about the end? How is it going to end? What is going to happen? The end of every body is through krimi. When we put them in the graveyard, the worms in the mud will eat away. And finally, the body decomposes and it becomes the mud. If we burn, it becomes the ashes, and that will also get into the mud and it becomes the mud. Or if it is thrown in the river, even then the creatures in the water will eat it as food and it excretes, and that waste will also settles down and becomes mud. So the anta of all the bodies is the mud. When that is the case, and he is also explaining what everybody in this war field is. Not to worry, they are all bodies, he is telling. So get up and fight. At the same time, he's telling they are all souls. So you are not killing them actually. Is it contradicting? Is it confusing? So let us spend a little more time on this point, which is important. Why, in the first place, why are we given body and the mind if it is impermanent? What is the necessity for that? Why we are given the strong notion, I am the body, I am the mind, and I am living so strongly with that notion for all the 100 years. I carry the body and the mind as though I am that. Why Prakriti has imposed this notion on us? What is the use of it? Because he's telling body, 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 and it has to see its end. Where is the necessity of the body? Or the notion I, the false I, small I. Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta. All the four are Antahkaranas, the instruments in which I is Aham. That Aham is very much needed for every action which will be performed in this world through the body and the mind with precision. Take, for example, I have lots of thoughts in my mind, and it is given a poetic expression, and I want to express it to reach out to many, many people. So for that, I am also having a pen in my hand, and paper is also there. Unless the thought, the intelligence, the mind, the brain, and the hand, and the pen, all of them should become I. I should become the thought, brain, intellect, mind, the hand, and the pen. When I am so much one with the pen, only then I can come up with the letter on the paper. The thoughts are put on the paper, which looks poetic, factual, whatever it is. That oneness, only when I become that instrument, I'm able to carry on the action. The minute I'm done with writing, I disconnect with the pen, I keep it down, and I use the hand as instrument to do something else. So that oneness with the instrument is very, very important. I should become that instrument to act with precision. You can do this experiment drinking coffee. One way of drinking coffee is I want to sit, enjoy coffee. When that is the focus of my mind, drinking the coffee, sipping and enjoying the coffee, automatically the hand will reach out to the cup. I lift it up all the way up to the mouth and drinking it. But none of these actions would have gone into my mind. I'm thoroughly enjoying the coffee because there is oneness. I have become the hand, the cup, and the action also I'm one with. So I'm sipping the coffee and I'm thoroughly enjoying. The mind comes away from coffee only when I keep it down. The other way of drinking coffee is with awareness that I am holding the cup. Cup is the instrument. I'm holding it. I'm taking it all the way to my mouth, and the coffee is going inside, and I can feel the warmth. If the mind is thinking all these things, it is scattered. I will not enjoy the coffee totally. Got it? So, whatever we do, even the surgeon, when he is doing the operation, he should become that tiny needle to have the good grip and control. He should become that. To that extent, oneness. I have become that needle. I have become that coffee. I have become that cup. So the action is enjoyed with that precision, and the whole process is enjoyed when I become the whole thing. So that notion I is very much needed for every action. For every action of ours, it is needed. And then dharma, adharma, that also is tackling again and again. Dharma is that moving along smoothly with the flow of our nature, flow of life, flow of the society, flow of the nation, flow of the whole world. That is dharma. Adharma is going against the flow or the current of life or one's own self. It becomes adharma. As I have started with coffee, let me give you the example through that only. For a human being, drinking coffee is lifting the hand and drinking, taking it up to the lips and sipping it, is the dharma of a human being of drinking coffee. What is adharma? If I keep the cup there itself down and if I bend all the way and slurp it like a dog or a cat, that is adharma. It is not according to the dharma of a human being. See, why I am telling this, to what extent there is dharma and adharma which we are following naturally. So, in the same way, Arjuna is not following, he is ready to give up the dharma because he is deluded. He is Maharathi. He is Kshatriya, Maharathi, one who is well trained warrior physically and also emotionally, mentally. He should be strong enough to face thousands of soldiers or the army opponents and should be able to capture all of them or destroy them. So when he's that kind of Maharathi, Kshatriya, he is taking the shelter of the emotions which he is feeling inside to say, I am not fighting. For example, again, I will take the coffee itself. You might be having a very $1,000 valuable cup. In that, you have put coffee. That coffee is like the soul, and the cup is the body. It is holding, and it is very, very valuable. But for some reason, it breaks into pieces which are very sharp. Isn't it dharma to wipe it out and put in the dustbin instead of leaving it or saying, Ayo, it is so valuable. No more it is valuable. Once it is broken, it is not valuable. It is causing harm only as glass pieces. And that is what is happening. No doubt, Kauravas, Bhishma, Drona, all are souls, no doubt. But the body called mind and the physical body have committed so many crimes and they are already broken. They are like the broken cup pieces who have scattered everywhere, creating havoc in the society. And Arjuna is saying, no, I am not ready to sweep them away from the face of the earth. And he's saying, I don't want to kill them. Now, do you see the difference? So, there Arjuna is falling back. That is Swadharma, he is going against the Swadharma. Kula Dharma, he is in the Kula of Kshatriyas and he has been well trained and he is talented in it. He is highly skilled as a warrior. And standing in the war field, he is telling, I am not ready to get into the war, the action of war. There he is going against the Kula Dharma. Kula Dharma. Each Kula will have some Dharma. That he is not following. So he is telling again and again, Yudhyasva, get up and do your work. And it is the wake-up call for all of us. For all of us. Because each one has taken birth with some purpose and with some skill. Everyone. If there was not skill, if there was not purpose, we would not have taken this birth with this body. So if we are not able to find out that purpose and work towards that, using the body and the mind as our instrument, it is nothing but adharma. So Krishna is very clear. Ya enam veti hantaram, yaschainam manyate hatam. Ubhautau na vijanito, nayam hanti, na hanyate. Ya enam veti, one who knows, one who thinks that soul cannot be killed, or the soul will not kill. The soul will not kill. And it cannot be killed. Ubhautau na vijanito, nayam hanti, na hanyate. One who knows both are very sure, very clear that Atma is not taking any part in killing. It is the war between the bodies, not the soul. The soul is one in everyone. It is just one soul. But there are so many caps as bodies. It is the bodies which are killing one another. One who thinks the self to be the killer, one who thinks the self to be the killed, both of them do not know the truth. Because, as I said, it is the bodies which are fighting with one another. It is the body and the mind which is acting They are performing the action, body and the mind. But Atma is not part of it. So one has to put mind towards knowing where I should put myself away from the body and the mind, or when I should be one with the body and the mind to carry on. So that difference we should know and act accordingly. Hanti, hanyate, that also we should make it clear. It is the body which is killed, or one can kill the body, which is physical matter, but no one can touch the Atma. Na jayate mriyate va kadachit nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuya ajo nityah shashvatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. See here, Krishna is observing to what extent Arjuna is understanding. Looking at the reaction, his response, he is weaving more and more and more shlokas describing what the reality is. So he's again putting an effort. Krishna is putting an effort to tell him more clearly. Na jayate, it is neither born. Mriyateva, nor it will die, nor it will die. Kadachi, at any time. Nayam bhutva, nor it didn't exist previously. Bhavita, it is not existing now. Va na bhuyah, not in the future. That means it is eternal. Taking birth is happening as an event. Dying is also an event. That can happen only in this manifested world to the beings, living and non-living beings. Both will have its starting and the end, because they are all nothing but the events happening in the world which has time, space, and cause and effect factors. Because of that, an event looks like reality. But in eternal reality, it is not so. There is only Atma which is eternally existing. Because of that, we can't say it was existing, it is existing, it will exist in, or it was not existing, it will not exist now, or it will not exist in future. That question will never arise when it comes to Atma, because it is eternal, it is there, is. Ajo nityah shashvato ayam puranam. It is ajo, there is no birth to it. It is nityah, eternal. Shashvatoyam, and it is immortal. Purano, it is ageless. It is ageless. Nahanyate, when that is the case, how can it be killed? Hanyamane, it it cannot be destroyed, and it will not destroy others or other thing. Sharire, when body is destroyed. Hanyamane sharire na hanyate. Ajo nityah shashvatoyam purano. So, all these things, jayate, mriyate, these are all the part of the life of the body. Body goes through asti, that is the existence in the womb. Asti, it is there. And then jayate, and it comes out as being born. And then vardhate, it grows. Viparinyamate, that is procreation. Viparinamate, and then apakshiyate, and then it becomes diminutive. Kshina, and vinashyati, that is death. It is for only body, sharira, not the atma which is inside that body. So, again, the example given is ocean. Ocean is there, ever expansive in the world. In that, the waves appear and disappear. Again, the cycle keeps going on and on and on. So, that ocean is nothing but water. Even the wave is also nothing but water. It is born out of water and it shows itself as water and it dissolves into the water. So it is only water which is playing, taking a new name as wave, a new form as wave, but it is nothing but water alone. So Atma is like that. There is no different stages or changes like the body goes. Veda vinashinam nityam ya enam ajam avyayam katham sa purushah partha kam ghatayati hantikam. Veda avinashinam, one who knows that Atma is indestructible, nityam, eternal, yenam ajam avyayam, and it is without birth or it is immutable. There is no kshaya for that. When that is the case, when someone knows this, how can a soul kill ghatayatikam, hantikam? How can it become the cause of anyone to be killed? How can it be killed? Or how can it be the cause of killing someone else? It is beyond. It is beyond the manifested bodies. It is beyond. So it is not involved. A spiritually evolved person dissolves his ego, I, totally into the soul. And thus, he knows the body and the mind are the ones which are carrying on the actions. For those realized souls, they are not bound by all these karmas. They just do it, being the instrument. So don't sit back giving the emotional reasons. Oh Arjuna, get up and do your work. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grinhani naroparani tatha sharirani vihaya jirna anya jirnani anyani samyati navani dehi. Is also giving him some more confidence, saying that Atma is eternal. It is only the body which keeps changing from one body to another. Within body, there is so much of changes happening within the body. Not only that, Arjuna, even going from one body to another body is also a very simple thing which is happening. Accept it and proceed further. For that, he is giving one more example. What is it? Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya. When the clothes what we wear are worn out, we just throw it. Navani grinhani naroparani. And we human beings, Nara, we take, buy new clothes and we wear it. It is so common experience. We do it. Tatha, in the same way, sharirani vihaya jirnani. The body which are already decayed or destroyed will be thrown and samyati navani dehi anyani. Different new body we acquire, we assume. So it is explaining how readily the egocentric entity, that small I, false I, dissociates itself from the body to find the new body, to accomplish its deeply etched desires. When that small I knows this body is no more a good equipment for me to accomplish the desires, this body requirement is not met. So it gives up the body and tries to go in search of the new body. In this way, we can understand that just like we use different clothes for different events or occasions or the necessity, even the bodies are equally valuable and we keep changing it, isn't it? But one can ask the question, what about accidents or young people losing their bodies when they die? What is the answer for that? The bodies are still healthy, hale and healthy, yet they are dead. What is the answer for that? The death or leaving this body is not connected with the age. It is not connected with the age. The mode of death might be different. The timing of the death may be different. But if that I, the egocentric I, feels, I don't think I can accomplish the desire, through this body. I need some other body. It will find a way to get rid of this body and look for new body. So, for we people who are still alive, we see that such a young person, how can he die? Or how can she die? It is we who are connecting the age of the body with death. But death is connected with seeing whether this equipment meets the requirement to accomplish the desire. It is like we would be having bicycle, and it is doing the job. Once I get more money in my pocket, I go for scooter. Not that the cycle is not working. It is working. It will stay at home. Scooter. And then when I become much richer, I will go for car. The scooter is also working. Cycle is also working. But people will see me in the car. Why? The necessity, the desire changed from scooter to car. Same thing with houses, isn't it? We are happily in 2-bedroom houses. Just because I'm having more money, I will be going to the 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom house. That doesn't mean the 2-bedroom house is not working. It is. But it is not okay for me. So I'm taking different house. Exactly the same way, even the bodies. It is according to the requirement. We change. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakam. Na chainam kledayantyapo, na shoshayati marutaha. This Atma is such a wonderful thing that no one can touch it. Nainam chindanti shastrani. No weapon can shred away or cut the Atma. Nainam dahati pavakaha. No fire can burn it down. See how stable we are. If I know, if I experience I as that self. Na chainam kledayanti. And nothing can wet it. I mean, the water cannot absorb it or make it wet. Na shoshayati marutaha. And even the great wind cannot dry it up. Krishna is giving these physical examples for us to know, for Arjunas to know what that Atma in reality is, because it should be only experienced. Only through known things, somehow Krishna can point out towards that Atma, what that Atma is pointing it towards by giving the examples. So, why did he take this? Nainam chindanti shastrani. Shastra, the instrument, weapon, is material thing. A material thing can cut only the material thing. But the material thing is not the soul. Soul is not material to be cut. consciousness, which is the nature or the symptom of soul. Consciousness is the nature of soul. Consciousness can come in touch with the material weapons or material instruments, but soul cannot be touched. For example, this material eye, physical eye, can be in touch with the rays of the sun, isn't it? But these eyes, physical eyes, cannot be in connection or in touch with Surya because it will get burnt out like anything. That connection is possible only through the rays. In the same way, soul cannot be connected with the material instrument or weapon because it is very, very, very subtle. Only through the rays of consciousness we are in touch with that soul, which is within. Nainam dahati pavaka. Pavaka is the fire. It can burn everything in the world, but not the space. This soul is much subtler than space. It is the soul which has given rise to the space, isn't it? Space is born out of the Atma. When it is subtler than space, how can fire touch the Atma? And then, na chainam kledayati. Even water can wet a thing only when there is interspace in between the molecules. Only when there is interspace within a thing, it can wet that thing. But here, Atma is homogeneous mass. It is just one ever expansive mass of consciousness. How can it wet it? When there is no moisture in it at all, water in it at all, what is there for Maruta, that is the wind, to dry it up? Even that is not possible because that Atma is the subtlest but the very base substratum of the whole manifestation. Achedyo, ayam adahyo, ayam kledyo, ashoshya evacha. Again he's telling, because Arjuna is still having that. What are you saying? What is it? I'm not getting it. That confusion. So Krishna is again telling the same thing. It cannot be broken. Achedyo, non-destructible. Adahyo, incombustible. Akledyo, cannot be wetted or dampened. Ashoshya, it cannot be dried up. Why and how? Nityaha, it is eternal. Sarvagataha, it is all pervasive. Sthanuhu, it is stable. Achala, wavering is not there. It is immovable. constant. Sanatanaha, it is primordial. It is there. Purana, Sanatana. So, a skillful teacher, they keep picking the same point until the teacher is satisfied that yes, the student has understood. He will keep on repeating it with different words or the same words again and again. That is what Krishna is doing here. It is called Punarukti, to make it very clear to the student. So, the second line, what it says is Nitya. It can never cease to be. It is eternally there, Nitya. Sarvagataha, it is also all pervading. So get the combination of it to be that soul. It is eternally there and it is all pervasive. That means it is there everywhere, Atma. Sarvagataha. And then Sthanu, it is stable. It cannot be altered or changed. It is there exactly the same way as ever. How sturdy it is. Just see. And then, because it is Sthanu, Atma, the presence of that, which is Sarvagataha, I am able to say that I am the same body as I was as a baby who has grown into this body. And it is the same body which has gone through so many different stages in life, different emotions. Just imagine if that I, the soul, which is Sthanu, Sarvagataha, Nityaha, was not there. Will there be any possibility of documenting the whole thing and being able to understand what I have gone through? So the presence of that Atma in every being is the one which is making us realize the changes which we are going through. Physically, emotionally, mentally, intellectually, spiritually also. We see the changes. Why? Because of that constant Nitya Sthanu Sarvagata Atma. And it is also Achala. It is not movable. Because it is there Sarvagataha. So where else can it go? There is no movement. It is Sthanu. And it is ever expansive. Sarvagataha. So it is Achala. And Sanatana. It is ancient and it is there all the time. And that is what I am. That is what you are. I am Atma. It is this fact which Tattvadarshi experienced. They have come up with the Mahavakyas of Upanishad. Prajnanam Brahma. Ayam Atma Brahma. Tat Tvam Asi. Aham Brahmasmi. And that is why these Mahavakyas are the concept of the truth which has no end. For so many janmas, when we work towards that, we realize all the four Mahavakyas are pointing towards I, the self, which is Nitya, Sarvagata, Sthanu, Achala, Sanatana. And Krishna is trying to make us understand. Okay, let me stop at this. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Devi Dharma.